Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss? 2023 seems to be the year of the video game adaptation, with the recent success of the Last of Us HBO series and the Super Mario Bros. Movie being prime examples. Every production company and streaming service is looking for the next big thing, and fans of the genre are no different. This is why the upcoming film, based on the video game Borderlands, is one of the most talked about projects on the horizon, since the game series has been immensely popular with fans since the release of the first game in 2009. Even though the film did have a slight setback recently, which I will discuss, it does still look to be aiming for a release in 2023. So here I thought I would go over everything we know about the movie so far, including the incredible cast and the very talented people bringing this world to life. If you are not familiar with the games, don't worry, I will briefly go over them as well, and also tell you why I think this movie has a chance to be really great, whether you are a fan of the video games or not. For those of you that have not played Borderlands, it is set in a post-apocalyptic setting hundreds of years into the future. Most of the game series takes place on a planet named Pandora, which has a landscape similar to the one from the Mad Max films with a splash of Blade Runner thrown in. Pandora is a vast wasteland covered in desert and sparsely populated shantytowns that are terrorized by gangs of bandits. The universe is ruled by megacorporations, and after one leaves the planet at the start of the first game, treasure hunters arrive to steal any resources that are up for grabs. But the most valuable resource is taken from ancient aliens that once inhabited many of these planets, and although they are long gone, their technology remains hidden, such as advanced weaponry that are contained within a vault that the player characters are on Pandora to find. Each game lets you select one of 4 or more characters to play as, and each story is slightly different depending on who you choose to play. Besides being a fun first-person shooter, there is also a supernatural element to the story that gives these games an edge over their competitors, as you are often guided by otherworldly forces that you do not understand. But the outlandish and unique characters are probably what these games are most well known for, and the cast list for the film adaptation would seem to reflect that. After the success of the original game in 2009, 3 more official sequels would be released over the next 10 years, along with an ongoing spin-off graphic adventure and various other forms of games and media created within this universe. All in all, the series has brought in over $1 billion of revenue, and to put this in perspective, it is just below the Mortal Kombat series in terms of total sales, even though Mortal Kombat released its first game almost 20 years before the first Borderlands game was released. A film based on Borderlands was first announced in 2015 by Lionsgate Films, and then 5 years later in 2020, acclaimed horror director Eli Roth signed on. Eli Roth has been directing popular movies for the past 20 years and is known for being able to inject both terror and comedy into his films, something that a story based in the Borderlands universe would surely require. Mr. Roth worked from a script written by Craig Mazin, who when hired in 2020 was only really known for creating the HBO series Chernobyl. Fast forward to 2023, and he is currently one of the most sought-after writer-producers in Hollywood after creating and writing The Last of Us for HBO, which, as I have already mentioned, is also a live version of a popular video game and may be responsible for this influx of new adaptations. Although the story and setting for Borderlands is really nothing like The Last of Us, both games remain popular because of their interesting characters that are forced to do amazing things within an unbelievable world. Although there are many stories that this film could use from the vast amount of content created by the games, the movie looks to be taking elements from many of the games while not being a true retelling of any. The official synopsis reads as follows. Lilith, an infamous outlaw with a mysterious past, reluctantly returns to her home planet of Pandora to find the missing daughter of the universe's most powerful SOB, Atlas. Lilith forms an alliance with an unexpected team: Roland, a former elite mercenary now desperate for redemption; Tiny Tina, a feral preteen demolitionist; Krieg, Tina's muscle-bound, radically challenged protector; Tanis, the scientist with a tenuous grip on sanity; and Claptrap, a persistently wise-ass robot. These unlikely heroes must battle alien monsters and dangerous bandits to find and protect the missing girl, who may hold the key to unimaginable power. The fate of the universe could be in their hands, but they'll be fighting for something more: each other. The character Lilith would seem to be the main character of this story, and she will be played by the immensely talented Cate Blanchett. Having an Academy Award-winning actress lead this project is a huge get, and probably something fans of the games never even envisioned. But I think it speaks to what the producers of the movie think is possible with this story. Lilith is an enigmatic character that was introduced in the first game and is a siren, or a person that is imbued with incredible, almost supernatural powers that allow them to do crazy things like travel between dimensions and control technology. Lilith is one of the most recognizable characters from Borderlands thanks to her tattoos and mysterious abilities. Her confident attitude is also one of her most defining traits, so I would expect Cate Blanchett to channel her performance as Hela in Thor Ragnarok while taking on this role. The next character mentioned is Roland, who is an ex-military mercenary type who will be played by Kevin Hart. In the games, he and Lilith do share a romantic relationship at one point, but I doubt that it will be part of the film. Roland is known for being a mostly good-natured and wisecracking character who is always ready with a one-liner, so it's easy to envision an established comedian like Kevin Hart taking on this role. Having said that, it has been reported that Mr. Hart is taking his role in this film very seriously and even got himself in amazing shape to play the part of Roland. The next two characters mentioned are Tiny Tina and Krieg, and they do come as a pair. Unlike Lilith and Roland, Tiny Tina was not a playable character in the original game and did not appear until Borderlands 2. She does have a history with Roland though, as he saved her life before the events of the games. She will be played by young actress Ariana Greenblatt, who just starred in the sci-fi film 65 with Adam Driver. Although small in stature, Tiny Tina is known for making things go boom in a big way and is a dangerous expert in explosives. Krieg is another character that was not introduced until the second Borderlands game, although his iconic look is often what is most closely associated with Borderlands, given that he wears a similar bandit mask to the one shown on the cover of the first 3 games. The mask is worn by bandits who are known as psychos because they have been driven mad by their obsession with finding the vault. Krieg will be played by Florian Munteanu, who played Victor Drago in Creed 2 and 3. Tannis is one of the most interesting characters of the group, and she will be played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Dr. Patricia Tannis is another non-player character who was first introduced in the original Borderlands and appears in many of the various games and media released afterward. She is a scientist and archaeologist who specializes in alien artifacts and has suffered a psychological breakdown after searching for the vault before the events of the first game. She is also described as being autistic and as an insane introvert with Asperger's. Frankly, I cannot wait to see what an actress with the comedic range of Jamie Lee Curtis will do with this character, and I think that this could be another award-winning performance for her. Rounding out the main cast is a character named Claptrap, who is another hilarious creation from this unique world. Claptrap is a robot that acts as a guide for the player in many of the Borderlands games and is known for his overenthusiastic personality. In another case of perfect casting, Jack Black will be voicing the character once it is introduced to the screen. This will be the second well-known video game character that he is voicing in 2023 after he lent his voice to the role of Bowser in the aforementioned Super Mario Bros. Film. Other characters appearing from the games include Mad Moxie, who will be brought to life by actress Gina Gershon. Mad Moxie is a difficult character to describe without getting an adult content violation from YouTube, but let's just say you'll want to keep your eyes on her while she is on screen. Also appearing as new characters not from the games are comedians Penn Jillette and Bobby Lee. While we do not yet have an exact release date for the Borderlands film, all signs point to this movie being released in the 3rd or 4th quarter of 2023. Test screenings occurred with an unfinished version of the film in late 2022, which led to some reshoots in January of the next year. However, due to director Eli Roth's commitment to another film that he is directing, the horror holiday film farce Thanksgiving, Tim Miller was brought in to complete the project. Tim Miller is a very accomplished creator in his own right, having directed the first Deadpool movie as well as creating the Emmy Award-winning series Love, Death, and Robots. Even though it is a shame that Eli Roth could not complete the film, I have a feeling that Tim Miller was the perfect person to come in and finish this job. While we wait for a trailer, a few images have been released from the studio that show the silhouettes of the main cast of characters. Along with these, there have been some unofficial images released that were taken during filming, such as this one of Cate Blanchett outside the set. Even though it is impossible to see if the actress will be sporting the extensive amount of tattoos that the character is known for, you can see that the actress is wearing the same basic hair color and style as Lilith. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel because once the trailer is released, I will let you know along with any other updates. Well, that is all I have this time, but let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit that like button if you have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?